I guess we contributed a little bit. We played both those teams.
Baker's at Mid-America Nazarene. Baker's 7-8 in the league, and Mid-America's 11-3. And then Evangel and Avila, that's a big game that we'll be watching. Evangel, of course, even though they're on the road, they're at Avila, and they should be the favorite going into that game. Evangel looks really, really good.
Well, here's the thing about Evangel. I believe they still have a home game with Culver Stockton and a home game with Mid-America here in their last 4 games. So, you know, their last 3 games, 2 of their last 3 will be against those 2 teams at home.
So they can really control what they're doing. They're 19-5 overall. Culver, the only team going into tonight with 20 wins in the league. They're 20-6.
I wonder how long it's been since a Culver men's basketball team had a 20-win season.
They and Evangel both won 6 games in a row. So that's what's happening there. All right, we're about ready for the second half here. The Vikings played a very impressive first half, and they've got the lead, 37-34, as we get set for the second half, and Joe Hall has the call.
Well, Vikings trying to pick up a big conference win right now. They're battling right now, coming into tonight's play, tied with Peru State, number 7 in the conference. Both those teams come into play at 4-10, so Vikes would like to get that 5th conference win and maybe leapfrog over a Peru State team. It's playing on the road tonight in Atchison against Benedictine, so we'll probably have that score. Maybe we'll have that score before we leave. But I tell you what, Ken, I don't see how any game can finish much earlier than ours will if it ends like it did in the first half. Okay. Ready to go here. Central Methodist will take the ball to start the second half. Vikings lead it by 3, and now stepping in and getting the steal, Kendall Hayes steps in, knocks it away to Jim Thomas. So Vikes force a turnover on the first possession of the second half. Thomas pulls up outside the free throw line, jump shot short, rebound Melvin Tillman for Central. Tillman into the forecourt, head of the key now to Franklin. Franklin guarded by Epps, deep on the right wing to Banks. Banks reverses it. Davis, left wing, Tillman. Tillman, head of the key. Banks, good ball movement by Central. Franklin gets it on deep on the right wing to Tillman. 16 on the shot clock. Drives baseline. Nowhere to go. Ball stolen by Epps. Head to Michael Connor. Connor by himself lays it in. So, again, great defense by the Vikings. They forced 2 turnovers. First 2 trips down the court, and the Vikings lead it by 5.
Yeah, good job and good hustle. And a good job by Connor. Just went in and laid it off the glass nice and easy.
Now Central, they get it down to Elliott Black. He spins on Brown, fakes over Law, puts it up off the glass, missed it. Then can't gather the offensive rebound. Elliott Black looked like he was going to have an easy rebound, but couldn't get the handle. It goes off him out of bounds. And back to the Vikings as Lionel DeLiska checks into the lineup. Looks like maybe Lawrence Brown bummed an ankle or something. I'm not sure. He's not bad, Mary. He's walking right now, so I think he's okay, but he'll come out for a minute.
All right, here come the Vikings, up by 5.
Now Epps comes around a screen, try to extend the 5-point lead. Oh, they try to lob it down low to DeLiska as Kendall Hayes, just a little bit over the head of Lionel DeLiska. DeLiska stands big inside. They list him at 6'5", but that was a little bit too tall. Yep. Ball back to the Eagles. Franklin, head of the key, Banks. Now left wing, Tillman. Tillman gets it back out. Elliott Black, hounded by DeLiska, drives inside, and they're going to call a block because they're going to say that Jim Thomas stepped into the path of Elliott Black. And, folks, I'm going to tell you something. That is only the 5th foul of this entire game. In the first half, I've got the Vikings with 2. I've got Central Methodist with 2, and that's the third total foul on the Vikings, first team foul this half.
Not many fouls in this ball game. That first half was incredibly fast.
So that'll put Elliott Black, Elliott on the line, the left-hander for 2 throws. First one's good. So give him 7 points on the game. He'll have 1 more.
That was the first free throw shot in this game.
Yep, it sure is. You're exactly right. So both teams now shooting 50% as Black misses the second one. So the Viking lead is 4, 18-25, just underway here in the second half. Epps across the timeline, out head of the key, Connor. Michael gets it outside, Jim Thomas back to Connor. His jumper in the air. This one lips out. And I think Lionel DeLiska maybe got away with a foul. Yeah. No call that time as Lionel over the back of Elliott Black. They say he touched it last, out of bounds, ball to Central Methodist. Pressure by the Vikings.
Putting out a little three-quarter court pressure.
Now Central gets it across with Tillman. Tillman head of the key, Davis. Now back to Franklin. There's a long 3 out of the corner by Banks, knocks it down. So Michael Banks knocks down his 3rd 3 of the game. He's got 11. It's a 1-point game. And now I believe they're going to call a blocking foul on Elliott Black. So as Elliott slides over, that's his first foul. So both teams for the Vikings, Thomas has one, David Smith one, James Pope one. For Central Methodist, Eric Franklin, Alex Barner, and Elliott Black each have one foul apiece.
That time, Deliska going to the lane. I don't think they didn't call it a shot. He was passing the ball, but it was a blocking foul.
So it looks like that the Vikes will inbound under their own bucket. Epps to Trigger, gets it in the corner to Thomas. Now back Kendall Hayes. Kendall slashes down the middle, and he's fouled. So we've already had within one of as many fouls here in the first 2:20 of the second half as we did the entire first half.
That foul's on Darian Davis, his first.
That's going to put Kendall Hayes on the line for 2 shots. Kendall with 6 points, 3 buckets in the first half. Kendall bends at the knees, first shot in the air, got it. So Kendall, that's the first free throw attempted by the Vikings, so they're a perfect 1 out of 1 for the night. Hayes with one more, got them both. So Kendall Hayes has 8 with those 2 free throws, extends the Viking lead back up to 3 again. Pressure by the Vikes. Central moves it around the horn. Davis brings it across. Now they're going to call. What are they going to call? Is that a shot clock?
Shot clock was only 31 seconds.
It looked for a minute, the official held up 10 fingers. I thought maybe he was going to call a 10-second count on Central Methodist, but I knew it hadn't been that long. No. So the Eagles inbound. Get it into Franklin. Franklin walks it across the timeline. Hands outside to Banks. Banks has 3 triples in the game. Elliott Black holds it high. Back head of the key, Franklin. 16 on the shot clock. Deep on the right wing to Banks. Fakes a 3. Now gets it outside to Black. Black guarded by Deliska. Drives inside. Now throws it out of bounds. As Elliott, now they're saying one of the Vikings tipped it. Is quite honestly, Ken, I think Elliott Black just tried to force the situation that time. But they're saying one of the Vikings got a hand on it.
Say Deliska got a hand on it, but I didn't think so.
So it'll be Central Methodist ball. Vikings lead it by 3. 17-21 left in the game. Inbound to Black. Black spins on Deliska, pushes off, got away with it, missed the shot. Battle for the ball. Black gets it back, and now they're going to call a foul. And that's going to come up on one of the Central Methodist players. Looks like that's going to come up on,
I think, Darian Davis.
Darian Davis, it'll be his second foul. As Jim Thomas sits down, checking into the Viking lineup will be Kevin Stander. 41-38, Vikings lead. The team seesawed back and forth quite a bit in the first half. Vikes had a 37-34 3-point lead at halftime. Now Epps gets around, gets it to Deliska up and in. And what a play by Jordan Epps. He drove right down into the middle, found Lionel Deliska wide open. Lionel's got 6, 5-point Viking lead. Now Central Methodist has the ball tipped out of bounds by one of the Vikings. CMU keeps the ball down under their own bucket. They'll say they'll trigger it on the sideline as Michael Banks gets it into Tillman. Banks ball fake, goes down the baseline, fires it up, and he's fouled. So they're going to call that foul on Lionel Deliska as he fouls Michael Banks. Michael drives inside. That should be a 2-shot violation. I believe it will be. And that'll put Michael Banks on the line for the first time tonight.
Well, we didn't have any fouls in the first half. We're making up for it here in the first 5 minutes of the second half.
Banks will have a couple. First one lips out, no good. So that pinball's out. He'll have one more. He's got 11 points in the game. The lead stays at 5 with 16:49 left to play. Banks is he's a junior out of Hanover Park, Illinois. Second shot in the air. Missed them both. Well, you don't see that very often as Banks misses both free throws. The Vikings retain that 5-point cushion. Now Stander outside to Epps. Epps will reset the offense for Missouri Valley. Comes around a screen. Left-hand dribble. Outside, head of the key, Michael Connor. Reverse to Stander. Now Kevin into James Pope. Pope tried to get it to Deliska. Now taken away by Banks for Central. Here come the Eagles the other way. Right wing, Barner, who's checked into the game. Barner holds it above his head. Outside to Tillman. Tillman stop and go dribble. In the corner to Elliott Black. Now back to Tillman. Now they'll reset the offense with 21 on the shot clock. Now Banks. Back outside to Tillman. Vikes playing good defense on this Eagle half-court offense. Now Tillman fakes a three, down to 8 on the shot clock. Skips it all the way across. Davis, they're going to have to hurry. There's a long three by Tillman. Got it. Boy, I tell you, the Vikes did such a great job. They made him run the shot clock all the way down. Not a particularly good shot, but a deep three that Melvin Tillman drains. It's a 2-point game.
Tillman now has 12 points.
Back to Stander. Kevin left-hand dribble. Gives back outside to Epps. Epps right wing to Connor. Michael guarded out there by Tillman. Now gets it to Deliska. His jump shot, good. And Lionel Deliska, that's something we haven't seen much this year. Lionel Deliska take the outside shot, had good spin on it, knocks it down, lead back up to 4. Vikings on top here, trying to win their 5th conference game of the season. Vikes in that man-to-man defense. Elliott Black outside to Banks. His three partially blocked by Connor, but Barner gets it and lays it in. So nice defensive play that time by Michael Connor, but Alex Barner, Johnny on the spot, got the loose ball, laid it in. It's a 2-point game. Now Epps ball fake, down the baseline, has it swatted away. Pope gets it, he's fouled. So nice offensive rebound that time. Jordan Epps had his shot partially blocked, but James Pope there to get the offensive rebound. He's fouled. He'll go to the line for a couple.
Barner's second foul. The court-warming king. Let's see if he can knock down. By his way, he's not playing the second half with his crown on.
No, he's not. Thank goodness. First shot in the air, missed it. So Pope will have one more. James has 2 points in the game. David Smith. Yeah. David checks back in. Michael Connor sits down as James Pope will try to extend the lead to 3. James, again, is a senior out of St. Petersburg, Florida, misses both free throws. So Banks misses 2 on one end. Now Pope returns the favor on the other end. The lead remains at 2. Vikings on top. 14:44 left here in regulation. Now Franklin resets the offense for Central. Back outside, Tillman. They run that little weave outside. Tillman comes around a screen with a left-hand dribble. Hands back to Franklin. Eric launches a three. Splash, knocks it down. So Eric Franklin puts Central Methodist back on top with a 3. He's got 9. The Eagles lead it by 1.
Vikings had a 5-7 point lead, but here come the Eagles again.
Now Epps into the lane. Handed it down to Pope. James passes up the shot. Back out to Kevin Stander. His shot pinballs out. Battle for the loose ball won by Melvin Tillman. Here comes Central. I thought that one was down by Stander. That one went down inside of the cylinder. Just had too much spin and kicked back out. So Central with a 1-point lead. They're on a 6-0 run right now. Right wing to Banks. Banks back to Tillman. His 3. Missed it. Rebound, David Smith knocked out of bounds by Central Methodist. So the mighty David Smith up strong for the rebound.
Yeah, he was battling Black for that rebound, and Black knocked it out. 46-45, Eagles with a lead, 13:46 left.
Okay, Vikes need a bucket here. They've led. Neither team's really led by that much. I think the Vikings have led by 5. Central's biggest lead, 2 points. So it's been a seesaw affair the entire time. Vikes can regain the lead with a bucket here. Left wing, Smith. David goes left. Flips it back in the middle. Deliska inside for the lead. Has it knocked away. And bodies go to the floor. Smith saves it. Back to Deliska. This time it's short. Rebound, James Pope, and he's fouled. And so James Pope, once again, pounds that offensive glass and draw the 2-shot foul.
Yeah, it is getting rough in there, no question. Let's see if Pope can knock these down.
You know, it's funny, Ken. The first half, there was very little contact. I mean, it was more of a wide-open spacing type game. Now both teams trying to pound it inside, and that'll be foul number 2 on Eric Franklin. So James Pope can once again give the Vikes a lead if he can hit a couple here, and he knocks down the first one. So once again, we are tied this time at 46 with 13:22 left here in regulation. James will have one more. Pope, Smith, Lawrence Brown, Epps, and Stander on the floor for the Vikings. Now James misses the second shot, and that rebound corralled by Central Methodist. James 1 out of 4 from the line here in the second half. Now they get the ball across the timeline. Good pressure by the Vikings, though. Franklin resets the offense for Central. Tied at 46. We played 7 minutes here in the second half. Vikings led it by 3 at halftime, trying to get their 5th conference win of the year. There's a step-back 3 by Tillman. Got it. Boy, Tillman had all kinds of time that time. He had plenty of time. Somebody fell down for the Vikings. Tillman had time to get his feet set, square up, and think about that when he knocked it down. Eagles have a 3-point lead. Now Epps puts it up. Got it down. Jordan Epps knocks down. That's a 2-point shot. Jordan spins to the left side and knocks down the J. The Central lead trimmed to 1.
That's his first bucket since early in the game. He had the first 6 points, or 6 of the first 10 points.
49-48. Eagles on top by 1. Franklin deep on the left wing to Barner. Looks inside, nothing doing. Back head of the key, Tillman. He's knocked down a couple threes here in the last several trips down the floor. Now Franklin, guarded by Stander. Backs it out between the circles. Now right-hand dribble gives it outside to Tillman. Tillman, stop and go dribble to the glass. Got it. James Pope almost got a piece of that, but Melvin Tillman kissed it off the glass, got the roll. Lead back up to 3 for Central. Now Pope, head of the key, right wing Stander, right wing Epps. Epps back out, head of the key, David Smith now gives it to Stander. Stander around a Pope screen. Bounce, tries to get it inside, ball knocked away, now saved by Smith, and I think they're going to call a foul. I believe Eric Franklin dove into the legs of, they call a foul, they just call that out of bounds. I'm not sure.
Called it out of bounds. May have said Franklin just knocked the ball out of bounds. Well, he dove in there.
He kind of dove right into the legs of David Smith that time. Now the two officials conferring right in front of the Viking bench. So 11 minutes, 36 seconds left to play here in regulation. 51-48, Central Methodist on top of the Missouri Valley Vikings. Two officials, I'm not sure what they're talking about, but they're having a fairly lengthy conversation here.
And now they're going to talk to both, going to give the ball to CMU. They're probably talking about the shot clock. And they're going to leave the shot clock at 15.
They say it's Viking ball, so Vikes down by 3, get the pelota back.
And no possession change. So
now Epps, Kevin Stander for the tie. This one too strong. Rebound comes out of there to Robert Mason, who's checked into the Central Methodist lineup. Now Franklin will walk it across, nursing a 3-point lead. Guarded by Epps, hands outside to Tillman, got to stay on him. He scored the last 7. Now inside, Tillman, ball fake, up and in. So boy, Melvin Tillman, and I think, I'm not sure, but I think he scored the last 10 points for Central Methodist.
I know he's got 19
and
for the game.
Just like
now.
that, with 11:08 to go, the Eagles have their biggest lead of the game. It's a 5-point lead, and Coach Chad Lance takes a timeout.
Well, this is the same thing that happened at CMU. He didn't hit the outside shots there. He's hit those, and now he is driving to the basket, and he is so quick and he's physical that when he gets inside that lane, he's tough to stop.
Well, you got to get out on him because he's a good 3-point shooter, so you can't give him any space to shoot. Boy, his first step, and he can go left or right. He's naturally left-handed, I believe, but the last 2 times he's going down the right side for layups.
Yeah. He's done a heck of a job, 53-48. This may be, I believe, this is the largest lead.
It is, I believe. I think, didn't it say they had a 2-point lead in the first half?
Yeah,
that was their biggest
led
lead.
by 2 early in the first 2 minutes, and that was their largest lead. The lead was, game was tied 8 times in the first half, so obviously we've had several more ties and lead changes here, but a 5-point lead now with 11:08 to go.
Well, good timeout by Coach Lance. Vikes need to regroup right now. It's been all Central Methodist here in the second half. The Vikings led 37-34 at halftime, but here in the second half, it's been a 19-11 advantage for Central Methodist. So it'll be a Viking ball. They'll go the length of the floor. Kendall Hayes sets to inbound to Jordan Epps. Now all of a sudden the crowd gets very quiet here. A little bit of pressure there by Robert Mason. No problem for Epps as he gets it across. Now gives it back outside to Michael Connor, who's back in. Connor head of the key to Hayes. Hayes' 3-pointer good. So Kendall Hayes, Vikes needed that right now. Kendall Hayes knocks down, that's his first tray of the game. He's in double figures with 11. It's a 2-point game. Kendall Hayes playing pretty well on the offensive end. If you remember, his first game of the year was that game in Fayette against Central. And now they're going to say, I believe, that David Smith reaches down and hammers Eric Franklin. So that'll be David's second foul. It'll be a non-shooting foul, so Central with a 2-point lead will inbound with 10:38 left.
Vikings have committed 3 fouls, 5 now on CMU, 10:38 to go.
Vikings need to stop right now. They trailed by 5 just a minute ago. Kendall Hayes banged down a 3 to cut the lead to 2, and that's where we stand at this moment. Now Tillman outside, guarded by Mighty Mite, David Smith. Now gives it back outside to Franklin. Franklin spins baseline. There's a jumper by Black. This one misses. Rebound Hayes for the Vikings. The Vikes can tie with the bucket, can take the lead with the three here. Michael Connor back beyond the arc. Head of the key, it comes to Smith. Smith out to Jordan Epps between the circles. Epps guarded by Tillman. Spins into the paint, throws up a jumper for the tie, got it. So Jordan Epps into the free throw line, knocks down a jumper. He's in double figures with 10. Folks, we're tied at 53 as we hit the 10-minute mark of the second half.
Jim Thomas ready to come in for the Vikings. Derek Kitch for CMU at the next break.
Vikes on a 5-0 run. Now Franklin gives it underneath. The Black missed a layup. Rebound Lawrence Brown. Elliott Black missed a wide open layup as Eric Franklin made a great pass that time. So Vikes can regain the lead here. Connor to Law Brown. And Law missed the shot, but he's fouled. So give Michael Connor credit on that. Yep. Nice penetration. He found Law Brown underneath, and Law can once again give the Vikes a lead if he can knock down one. Let's just knock down both these free throws here.
Elliott Black picked up the foul, his second, 16 foul.
I believe this will be the first trip to the line for Law tonight. He'll have 2 here. 6 points in the game in the first half, averaging 8.8 points a game, and he knocks down the first one. So the Vikings go back up by a point. Law can make it a 2-point lead if he can hit this one here. Law Brown, Kendall Hayes, Michael Connor, Jordan Epps, and Jim Thomas on the floor for the Vikings. No, Law knocks down the second one, so he's a perfect 2 out of 2. Vikes on a 7-0 run. They lead at 55-53. Central brings it across to Robert Mason. Now back outside to Franklin. Barner head of the key. He'll go down and set a pick. Tillman gives back to Mason. Now deep on the right wing. Franklin brings it out towards the top. Tillman goes to the right. Now slashes inside on Brown. Throws up a runner. And boy, what a nice soft shot that was. Just kind of hung in the air. Kissed that one off the rim. And boy, Tillman's doing it all for Central right now.
Not much defense for that. He just put it off the glass. You're right. Got the shooter's roll, knocked it down.
Now Connor for the Viking lead. Missed it. Rebound out of there to Varner. So we're tied at 55. 8:54 left. Good shot by Connor. Just had it lip out on him. Banks gets set to check back into the Central lineup. Left wing it comes for Central to Franklin. Franklin backs it out, guarded by Connor. Now in the corner, there's a 3 by Barner. This one misses. Rebound Epps, but he can't control it. Goes off his hand out of bounds, so I believe the ball will remain with the Eagles, tied at 55.
Yeah, Jordan went up, got a hand out, but could not control it. Mason will inbound.
8:33 left. Been a good game so far. Now Central gets it out between the circles to Franklin. Now head of the key to Derek Kitch, who's checked into the lineup. The Hallsville product hands it outside to Mason. Mason back to Franklin. Franklin guarded out there by Jordan Epps. Bounce pass to Kitch at the high post. Now back to Banks in the corner to Mason. Mason with 16 on the shot clock. Gets it head of the key. Franklin. Good defense by the Vikings as Michael Connor right in the face of Eric Franklin at the head of the key. Now Franklin goes around Connor. Gives it back to Banks. Throws up an air ball. Good D. Head lead pass to Michael Connor for the lead. Got it. So a great job of running the floor that time as Jim Thomas finds Michael Connor streaking down the middle of the floor. Michael gives the Vikes a 2-point lead. Now Banks drives in and ties it up for Central. And Coach Jeff Sherman wants a timeout. So once again, as we have been so many times tonight, we're tied this time at 57 with 7:47 left in the game. Timeout on the floor.
Well, super defense by Valley, and that led to the basket by Connor, and then the Vikings gave up the easy one to Michael Banks. So here we go. Foul situation, 6 on CMU, 3 on Valley, so we have a few to give. Vikings will be shooting a 1-and-1 from this point on. Tied at 57 with 7:47.
One thing you learn in the game of basketball today, you don't take time to celebrate after you make a basket. You've got to get out of the floor pretty quickly because that other team's going to take that ball inbound and get it there as fast as they can. So good game. 7:47 left. It's court warming here tonight at Missouri Valley. The Vikings a much needed game. They really need to win this one if they can so they can possibly move ahead of Peru State in the conference standings.
Yeah, Vikings in all likelihood are going to be either 7th or 8th if they make the tournament. And so they're 3 games behind Baker for that 6th spot. But
All right, Viking ball tied at 57. Epps guarded by Banks. Gets it low block. Lawrence Brown. Loss spins on Kitch. Now back outside. And they're going to call, I believe, a holding foul on Derek Kitch as he was holding on to Lawrence Brown down in the paint. That'll be the first foul on Kitch, but that's foul number 7 against Central Methodist. So the Vikings will be shooting the bonus the rest of the night. So Law Brown can give him a 2-point lead if he can knock down a couple here. Law hit a couple to give the Vikes a 2-point lead just minutes ago. See if he can do it again. First shot's good.
Looks good on those free throws.
So give Lawrence, he's got 9 points. He can go into double figures if he can hit this second shot here.
Averages 8.8 a game. That average is slowly climbing all year long.
Law's second shot, perfect. So Law's very coolly knocked down 4 in a row here in the second half. He's in double figures with 10. The Vikings lead it 59-57. 7.5 minutes left. Franklin outside Banks. Give it back to Mason, who hands Franklin, guarded there by Epps. Epps gets it to Barner. Barner spins inside Banks. Stop and go, goes to the ground, loses the handle. Ball taken away. Now Central gets it back. Driving in for the layup is Franklin. It's going to be a bucket and one as Vikings thought there was a foul there. No call as Central got a steal. Eric Franklin got the steal, drove in and laid it in. It'll be the bucket and one.
Well, I wasn't so much as foul as a travel. Because I thought when he fell to the floor, I thought that was going to be a travel.
Yeah, Michael Banks fell to the floor. Vikings had it for a minute and then somehow shoveled. One of the Vikings tried to shovel it out of the lane and went right to Eric Franklin. Now he has a chance to complete the three-point play, which he does. So in a very seesaw game here with 7:05 left, Central Methodist regains a 1-point lead. Now Epps outside. Jordan stop-and-go dribble. Back outside, Connor. Connor comes around a Kendall Hayes screen. Back to Jim Thomas. JT spins to the right side. Low block, Hayes. Kendall turns, throws it up, leaves it short. But they're going to say it's off of, who'd they say? I think they're saying it was off of the Vikings. I thought that was off of Central Methodist that time. Yep.
Well, they say it was off Law, so CMU with the lead in the ball.
So the Eagles get the ball back. They lead it by 1, 60-59. Been a good game.
Yeah.
Back out, head of the key, Robert Mason. Right wing, it comes to Varner. Varner back to Banks. His three blocked by Michael Connor. Now Banks gets it back, missed it. Offensive rebound, Varner up and in, and Michael Connor hurt that shoulder again.
Yeah, he hurt that shoulder on that block. And when he blocked right back to Banks. He missed the shot, but Varner with it, but that shoulder's hurt again. And
Michael's had trouble with that shoulder all year long. And, you know, the sad thing, Ken, he's just now starting to play at full speed and really looks a couple steps quicker than he has all season, and just really hate to see that happen as Tillman and Black check back in for Central Methodist. We're down to the 6:20 mark here in the game. The Eagles lead it here on the road, 62-59. Now it's time for the Vikes to make a run. It's just been kind of a game of runs all night long.
Need to make a run right here.
Now Epps walks it across the timeline. Jordan across around the screen. Now back to Hayes. Hayes drives inside off the glass. And I believe that's going to be a blocking foul, and that's going to come up on Elliott Black. And I believe that'll be his third foul as Elliott Black steps into the path of Kendall Hayes and draws is charged with the two-shot foul.
And Hayes, a nice game in double figures. He'll head to the free throw line here.
Kendall's knocked down 2 out of 2 from the line. So the Vikes doing a pretty good job at the free throw line thus far. Don't want to jinx him, but it is the fact.
Well, we are 6-7 out of 10 from the line.
And it's all in the second half because, again, folks, neither team shot a free throw in the first half. Hayes' first shot's good. So Kendall's a perfect 3 out of 3. Give him 12 points in the game. He can make it a 1-point Central Methodist lead if he can hit this second shot. Bends at the knees, second shot, pinball's out. Rebound Black for Central Methodist. So Kendall gets 1 out of 2. The Central lead is 2. Eagles have the ball now. Just under 6 minutes left to play. Franklin directing traffic, head of the key, gives it deep on the left wing to Tillman. Now almost stole it away. Is driving inside and laid it off the glass, Elliott Black. And I'll tell you what, kid, Elliott Black has not shot the ball well, but he's really shown some good moves on his way to the glass as he lays this one in. 4-point lead.
Boy, Epps almost had a steal
Yeah,
with
he
it,
did.
too.
He did.
Just that close, but when he didn't get the steal, then that left him open to get the ball to Black. And I'll tell you, Elliott Black makes some nice moves, flipped it up with the left hand, and it's a 4-point lead now for CMU. And Chad taking a timeout because with 5:45 to go, you better hang in there. You don't want to give up 3 or 4 possessions in a row here.
Well, and Elliott Black, he's missed some wide open layups tonight, but he's had every time he's shot in that little scoop or flip shot, he's knocked it down.
Yeah.
So good timeout by Chad, though. This is a very, very important possession right now. Vikes need to run their half-court offense, get a good look, and hopefully knock something down here.
Well, let's see. Jordan Epps has 10 points. He's not leading the way tonight, but I'm sure that ball will go through Jordan Epps here as we come down the stretch.
Well, it should. It should. 5:45 left to play, 64-60. Central Methodist trying to even the series. The Vikings won in Fayette about a month ago, 81-70. Now Epps around a screen, and he's hounded. That's a good call as Michael Banks reaches around Jordan Epps, and that'll put Jordan on the line as Central Methodist over the limit. In fact, from this point on, the Vikings will be shooting 2 free throws on every foul. And the Vikes have only fouled 4 times here in the second half, so you'd have to say they have a distinct advantage there.
Well, I don't understand that foul, and not that it wasn't a foul, but, missed the free throw.
Epps misses, but offensive rebound, Kendall Hayes. Nice job by the big K there. Now Epps spins to the baseline, cut off there by Black. Back to Hayes, his 14-foot jumper, too strong, and the rebound, Barner pulls it out of there for Central Methodist.
He fouled him a good 25 feet away from the basket, but got away with it as he missed the free throw and then missed the foul shot.
Good shot by Kendall Hayes, just left it a little bit strong there. Now Black runs in. That's going to be an offensive foul. Is Elliott Black just runs over Jim Thomas, and that'll be his 4th foul. So good position that time by JT.
That's a big play, too, because Black will have to come out. He's their inside scoring presence. Derek Kitch comes in, not nearly the offensive player that Black is. So it's going to be a big play inside here. See how long Coach Sherman leaves his big guy on the bench.
64-60, Central Methodist leads it. We're nearing the 5-minute mark here in the game. Been a seesaw contest. Been well played, really, by both teams. Epps for a 3, short. Rebound. Barner grabs it for Central.
Good quick rebound.
Yep. Good look by Jordan Epps that time. Just left it a little bit short. So Jordan with 10 points in the game. Outside to Banks. Gives it head of the key, Barner. Barner looks in. Now the outside Derek Kitch between the circles. Back to Banks. Now posting up Barner. Gives it to Kitch. His jumper in the lane short. Rebound Law Brown for the Vikes. Vikes want to run it. Epps ahead to Thomas. Back head of the key. Skip past Kevin Stander. Kevin drives in. Now has it taken away by Barner.
Oh. Kevin was heading to the basket, and Barner just reached in, and look what I found.
Good penetration. Kevin Stander always very aggressive trying to take that ball to the hoop, but let it slip away. Now Barner head of the key. Now there's a foul underneath. I think they're going to call a foul maybe on Law Brown, I think. I think Law holding somebody inside. And I believe that's his first foul of the game, and that's only team foul number 5 on the Vikings as James Pope comes back in. Kendall Hayes takes a seat. David Smith also will enter the ball game for the Vikings, and he will replace Jim Thomas. So for the Vikes, it's Pope, Brown, Epps, Smith, and Kevin Stander right now. Pretty quick lineup on the floor. Anytime you've got Epps, Stander, and Smith on the floor at the same time, you've got pretty good quickness. Central inbound. They get it outside to Franklin. Now Kitch down low to Barner. Barner wide open underneath, laid it in. So one big man finds another big man as Derek Kitch finds Alex Barner. Barner's got 6 here in the second half. Central's lead up to 6. I think that might be their biggest lead in the game.
That is their biggest lead of the game. 3:52 left.
Smith hands outside to Stander, deep on the left wing to Epps. Epps down the block. Lawrence Brown spins inside. Back to Stander. 13 on the shot clock. Kevin right wing. Inside Pope. No look pass. Missed the shot.
Man.
Rebound Tillman. Boy, nice pass that time as Kevin Stander got it into James Pope. James missed the short jumper.
It's getting serious now. 3:28 to go.
6-point lead for the Eagles. It's still a 2-possession game, and now they're going to call David Smith as he hammers Michael Banks, and that'll be David's 3rd foul. Still be a non-shooting foul. That's the 6th team foul on the Vikings. So Central will be on the in the 1-and-1 from this point forward.
Now, David started to say something official and then just kind of patted him and said, yeah, good call.
Michael Connor checks back in, so good to see that. I'm glad that shoulder wasn't hurt too badly. Kevin Stander will come out. Connor in the lineup. 66-60, Central Methodist leads at 3:24 left in the game. It's been a good one. Leads seesawed back and forth here. A court-warming game. James Pope was crowned homecoming king just minutes ago. Outside to Tillman. He hands it to Franklin. Franklin has it taken away by David Smith. David the other way, throws it up, basket and one. And what a big play by the Mighty Mite there. That's exactly what the Vikings need, is Central Methodist threatening to take an 8-point lead. David Smith stepped into the passing lane, got the steal, the bucket, and one. And Ken, what a big play there.
That was huge by David Smith. Let's see if he can knock this down, make it a 3-point game. That was absolutely a huge play.
I'll tell you, when David's in there, things seem to happen. See if he can make this a 3-point play. Shots in the air, missed it. Rebound, battle underneath, and they're saying Law Brown, I believe, knocked it out of bounds. So it'll go back to Central Methodist. But David Smith with a great steal cuts the lead to 4 with 3:05 left.
But David missed that free throw, but what a great play. What a great hustle play. 3:05 to go. These possessions are huge now.
Vikes want to press, and with Connor and Epps and David Smith, all that bunch on the floor, they can do a pretty good job of it. Tillman back outside to Franklin. His three in the air is good. And boy, Eric Franklin, that was a big three right there as Eric Franklin buries a deep three. That's his fourth tray of the game. And with 2:51 left, Central Methodist takes a 7-point lead.
3, 7, 10, 11 3-point field goals tonight. He has 4 of them. Banks has 3 of them. Tillman has 3. Franklin averaging 7.4 points a game. He's the floor general, but tonight he has 15 points.
And that was a big shot right there, Vikes. It just trimmed it down to a 4-point lead, and somebody was right in his face, and boy, he drained that. And that was a deep three, too, so a big shot right there. So we've got a timeout on the floor and 2:51 left. What do you do if you're the Vikings right now?
I think you still have to go. You probably a lot of time left, but I think that ball has to go through Jordan Epps. At least give Jordan a shot each time. Maybe not take the shot, but you're gonna have to. You got to score down these possessions. You're good at inside the Law Brown. You still have plenty of time. I mean, you still got a lot of possessions here.
And with the quintet the Vikes have on the floor right now, they've got a lot of quickness out there. So if we can get a bucket, we can be effective with that full court press. We just needs to be an all-out press. Really go for the ball, because I think we could create some havoc with Central Methodist in the backcourt.
Men's game a little different with a 35 versus a 30-second shot clock, and that extra 5 seconds on each possession eats that clock up in a hurry.
It'll be Viking ball, 69-62, 2:51 left. Central Methodist leads as James Pope, Kevin Stander, Lawrence Brown, Michael Cotter, and Jordan Epps on the floor for the Vikes right now.
You don't need a three, but you need a good look. You need a good shot here.
Vikes need to run that half-court offense. Epps pulls up for the jumper. This one misses. Battle for the rebound, and Kitch comes down with it, and I think he's fouled on the rebound. So Derek Kitch, the Hallsville product, rips down the shot on the miss by Jordan Epps. And Jordan, once again, a good look, dribble to the left side, had about a 10, 12-foot jumper, just lifted off the back of the rim.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
Yeah.
It just didn't go down. Well, let's see if we can get to...
So Derek Kitch, he really has done nothing on the offensive end tonight. He'll be on the line for a 1-and-1 right now. Big rebound right there. Kitch bends at the knees. Shot in the air. Got it. Derek Kitch knocks down the first one. He'll earn the bonus. The Central lead now is at 8. Wow. And that's their biggest lead of the night.
Yeah, no question about it. That was big.
Kitch will have one more as Pope comes out. Kendall Hayes checks back into the Viking lineup. Kitch's second shot is good. So Kitch knocks down a couple of big throws right there to give Central a 9-point lead. 2.5 minutes left in the game. Right wing Stander for the Vikes. Head of the key, Connor. Michael throws up a runner, missed it. Rebound, Kitch.
Not a good shot.
No, that was not a good shot. Michael off balance that time. Ball back to Central. Now Tillman will walk it across the timeline. The Eagles probably want to run some clock right now. Vikes need to up the pressure. Beyond the arc, Franklin's three, good. So Eric Franklin knocked down a three, and that was huge. So Eric Franklin has knocked down a couple threes. It's an 11-point Central Methodist lead with 2 minutes left. Stander outside, left-hand dribble, puts up a runner. This one misses. Rebound underneath. pulled out of there by Kitch. So Derek Kitch has made some big plays here down the stretch for Central.
I don't know what this run is, but it's been a while since we've scored, I think. 73-62 now.
Now we're down under 2 minutes, 1:42 left. And Coach, now the officials call timeouts. Michael Connor wincing. I'm just going to assume it's maybe that shoulder again. I think Michael's playing in a lot of pain out there as he goes back behind the bench. I'm not sure if he hurt the shoulder again or took a shot in the eye. I'm not sure what happened, but Michael looks like he's in quite a bit of pain right now. All right, it'll be Central ball. They lead at 73-62, 1:39 left. Banks to inbound. Gets it in the corner. Gets it back. Now ball taken away. David Smith for the Vikings. Vikes need a bucket here. Ahead to Epps. Jordan quickly into the forecourt. Spins inside off the glass and in. So nice drive by Jordan Epps. Give him 12. Trims the lead back to 9. Pressure by the Vikings. Central gets it across with Banks. Out to Franklin. Franklin hounded by Stander. Down to 1:13. Vikes need to do something here pretty quick on the defensive end. Now Franklin backs it out. And Stander shoving him. No call. Now Franklin comes around, gets it inside to Kitch. Back outside Marner. Down to 14 on the shot clock.
Great job by Central.
Yeah, they're just running that clock down as far as they can. Down to 8, 7. We're under a minute to play here. There's a 3 in the air. This one misses by Tillman. And now they're going to call a foul, I think, on Derek Kitch on the rebound as he goes over the back of David Smith.
And, boy, that's not what Jeff Sherman wanted. Jeff didn't mind the shot, didn't mind the possession. They took all the time out. He did not want that foul because now you stop the clock with 49 seconds to go and let David knock down a couple free throws to make it 7.
73-64. Central Methodist leads at 49.2 seconds left as David Smith will be on the line for a couple here. David 0 out of 1 from the game. He's got 4 points. First shot good. So David, well, I tell you, David's played big tonight.
Yes, he has.
He's got several steals, a big rebound right there. Had a player go over his back on the rebound. So David, with this second free throw, can make this a 7-point game. He does. So David knocks down both. Vikes will apply the pressure here. Ahead to Banks. Now Epps skips in. They get the steal. Back to Smith. Smith in the corner to Stander. Throws it, boy, and somehow the Vikes save it. I thought that ball was going out of bounds. Epps dribbles into the paint. Underneath to Smith. Smith off the glass and in. David Smith, a reverse layup. We've got a 5-point game as David Smith lays it in, and now there's a foul in the backcourt as somebody reaches around Melvin Tillman, and Coach Jeff Sherman not happy, but we're down to 33 seconds left in this game.
Well, Vikings almost threw it away, and Stander right in front of the Viking bench somehow kept his feet in bounds. Flipped it out by midcourt to Lawrence Brown, and then the Vikings went on to score.
And how about that shot by David Smith? Yeah. Kind of a flip shot underneath, but he got it in. So now the foul, that foul is going to be on David. That's David's 4th foul. That's going to put Melvin Tillman on the line for a 1-and-1. First shot, missed it. Offensive rebound, Kitch missed the follow. Battle for the loose ball. I think Barner knocked it out of bounds. So a big miss that time by Melvin Tillman. Vikes still breathing here with 28 seconds to go. They get the ball back, trailing by 5. You don't see Melvin Tillman do that very often, but he missed a big free throw right there.
2-possession game. Vikings now, they got to get a good shot.
Epps brings it across. Jordan behind the back dribble into the paint. Missed it. Tip is good. Lawrence Brown tips it in. Jordan Epps did a great job penetrating. Law Brown tipped it in. And, folks, we've got a 3-point game with 24 seconds left to play.
Wow, big job by the Vikings. That last possession was huge. This time Epps missed the shot, but tipped in by Lawrence Brown. It's a 1-possession game, 24.4, and that is an eternity in a basketball game.
Well, give this team credit. We down by 11 just a minute. I think we were down by 11 just minutes ago, and now it's a 3-point. So I think the Vikings on an 8-point run, 8-0 run right here, as they've taken an 11-point game. Looked like it was all over but the shouting, but now the Vikes are very much a part of this game with 24 seconds left to play. It'll be Central ball with, like I say, less than 30 seconds.
Yeah, no shot clock, so I would think you'd go for the steal, and if they get the ball in the forecourt, you're going to have to foul. Obviously, you're going to have to foul because they can run the clock out, but 73-70, all-out pressure. Let's see if the Vikings can steal the inbounds pass. Even if you do that, you don't need a 3. You just need another good shot.
Well, I'll tell you what, Central, a very good ball-handling team, but this Viking defense has created some problems. That pressure, they've really upped the intensity on defense, and Really has caused some problems for Central as far as handling the ball, and Coach Jeff Sherman takes a little extra time talking to his troops on the sideline, so they will inbound. They'll have to go the length of the floor against David Smith, Kendall Hayes, Jordan Epps, Kevin Stander, and Lawrence Brown. Pretty quick quintet on the floor for the Vikings. You know, I've used quintet quite a bit here tonight. Yeah.
Good word.
Okay, Central to inbound. They get it into Banks. Banks ahead to Black. Elliott Black back in the lineup, and they immediately foul Elliott Black. So
could be 1-1. That's only the 9th foul.
And Elliott Black, what's he done tonight? He's 1 out of 2 at the line, so he'll go to the line for 1-1 with 20.1 seconds to go. Black averaging 15.5 points a game. What's his free throw shooting percentage?
He is a 77% free throw shooter, 95 out of 124.
So he's at the line. He can make it. If he hits his first shot, he'll make it a 2-possession game. Vikes, if they get a miss, they can come down and tie with a 3. Crowd starts to hoop it up a little bit. Shot, got it. Went in. That ball hit the front of the rim, bounced up in the air, and then drops in for Elliott Black. So he'll have one more. With 20.1 seconds to go as Robert Mason comes into the lineup. He'll replace Alex Barner.
Still don't need a 3, but you need to score on this next possession. Score in a hurry.
Black will have one more as he'll try to extend the lead back up to 5. Vikes have done a good job coming back. Again, they were down by 11 just minutes ago. Second shot missed. Battle for the loose ball, and Kevin Stander comes away with it and bounces it. No, they're saying now
he stepped out of bounds.
That Kevin stepped out of bounds on the save. Elliott Black missed the second free throw. There was a mad scramble for the loose ball, and Kevin Stander, the last to touch it, he bounced it. Actually, I believe bounced it off an eagle leg, but they're saying that Kevin was standing on the out-of-bounds line when he touched the ball. They get it into Black. Now he's fouled. Now that should be a two-shot foul right now, as that's the 10th team foul on the Vikings. So we're down to 16.6 seconds left. It's a 4-point Central Methodist lead. But think about it, Ken. Even if he hits both shots, it's still a 2-possession game.
Yeah, 2-possession game either way. 16.6 to go.
16.6 seconds can be a long time. First shot in the air, missed it. So Elliott Black's missed the last 2. He'll have one more to try to extend the lead back up to 5. Left-hander bends at the knees. Takes his time. Shot in the air. Missed them both. Rebound out of there to Kendall Hayes. So the Vikes dodge a bullet right there.
Almost threw it away.
Here comes Stander. Goes between a double team, and now they're going to call it traveling. And I think the Vikes thought he was hammered. Jordan Epps went between a double team that time. A little bit of shoving in there, but they say, the officials say he lost his balance and came down and traveled. So a big call right there, a big turnover with 8.9 seconds left to play.
Well, there was some contact. Kevin thought he got fouled. Coach Lance thought he got fouled too, but didn't call it. Now a foul is going to be called, and Banks will go to Franklin will go to the line. It looks like the Vikings going to come up a little bit short. 8.2 seconds to go.
Yep. But still, even if he hits both free throws, it'll still be a 2-possession game. So Vikes will have to get it down quickly, hit a bucket, call a timeout, and hope for a miracle steal. Franklin with 2 here. First shot in the air. Got it. So Franklin, he's had a big second half for this Central Methodist team. He's had 13 points in the second half, 19 in the game. He'll make it a 20-point game as he knocks down both free throws. It's a 6-point game. We're under 10 seconds. Epps for the 3, short. Rebound, Hayes, shot up and in. 0.2 of a second left, and Central Methodist comes in to Marshall. And the Eagles avenge an earlier season loss as they come in here and walk away with a 76-71 win to move their conference record to 9-6, and they stay in the hunt for a top 4 finish in the conference standings.
And the Vikings fall to 4-11 now, 9-18 overall, but they've now lost 6 in a row, and they're still fighting with Avila, Peru, and Graceland for those final 2 spots. We'll be back with our post game in a moment.
Here's the snap. It's a handoff to Rocky Carr. He breaks the tackle. He's at the 40, the 30, the 20. He can't go. Oh, no.
Not so fast, Rocky. Did you remember to register with Selective Service within 30 days of your 18th birthday? No.
Oh, too bad. Rocky Carr is stopped just short of the goal line. What do you make of that, Chet?
Well, the law says that every man must register with Selective Service within 30 days of his 18th birthday. Now, Rocky could have registered online at www.sss.gov or at his local post office. Hey, it's the fundamentals, Al, and Rocky just didn't get it done.
You're right, Chet. That's got to be a big disappointment for a young man who had such a promising future. Let's see that again on instant replay.
Let's not, Al. It's pretty painful to watch.
We are back to Grover C. Redford Gymnasium on the campus of Missouri Valley College. Final score 76 to 73 as CMU joins us. And just for a couple of moments, Chad Lance joins us. And Coach, I tell you what, tough down the stretch. Rough ball. Very few fouls in the first half. Got a little rougher in the second half, but CMU looks like they made the plays when they had to.
Yeah, they made some nice plays there. I thought the costly play, the no call there in the lane was kind of a big turning point for the game. But you know, if you go to one area specifically, is I got to go to the foul line. I haven't looked at the stats right now, but I know that the foul line had to hurt us because several of those were front ends or 1-and-1s. Yeah. You know, we went through about a 3-minute period there where we didn't defend. So, you know, we battled hard, we played hard into some spots, but it wasn't good enough tonight.
And they were, let's face it, they were red hot from outside the arc. Franklin is a very good point guard, but he had 4 threes tonight. Tillman, we knew he could score, but they were knocking down the threes tonight. They were hot from out there.
Yeah, they definitely were. You know, we lost some people a couple of times, and you know, in the pregame, you could see our board in there was control the guards, and we didn't do that consistently tonight, and that's why we got beat.
But I thought your inside play, Brown, Hayes offensively, and DeLiska coming off the bench did some good things for you inside.
Yeah, he did. You know, we have just got to get to the point. You know, it's no secret in any sports that you play. You got to have a lot of guys be consistent night in, night out, and that's an area that we've struggled with. So, you know, we still got basketball to play, and we're still going to be working towards those things and get right back in it tomorrow. You know, we got Mid-America on Saturday, and you know, for us, I hope our guys understand that we're still playing for a lot. Right,
you're playing for a whole lot. There's several spots open still. So, Coach, tough one tonight, but as you say, it doesn't get any easier. You get to go to Olathe, but boy, we've had some. I tell you what, we've had some great games in Olathe before.
We have. So
remember hopefully 3 or 4 overtime a couple of years ago.
Hopefully we can continue that. So we got to get in there and regroup our troops, and hopefully we got our heads up and we're ready to keep moving.
All right, Coach. We'll see you Saturday.
All right, thanks.
Chad Lance joins us. We'll go over the scoring here in just a moment. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll go over the scoring, wrap things up from Marshall.
Can you tell if this burger contains bacteria that could cause kidney failure? Listen. Can't, can you? You can't see it either. There's only one way to tell if you've cooked meat and poultry to a bacteria-killing temperature. Use a food thermometer. It's not an extra step or a nice to have. Raw or undercooked meat may contain bacteria that can make you very sick, or worse. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year, and roughly 3,000 will die. But you can keep your family safer by using a food thermometer every time. Learn more about this and other important information. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov. That's foodsafety.gov. A public service announcement brought to you by